Hi there. Welcome back.
Yes. Good to be back. I missed you.
We missed you. Sounds like you had a good trip, so that's awesome.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Excellent. So today's topic that I decided without any of your interaction was social media marketing, but really online marketing, the platforms, content ideas, and engagement. So because there's a tons of platforms out there and there's different ways to get that engagement in the different areas.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of platforms that we're probably still not even going to cover because there's just a lot.
There is a lot. There's the top ones, there's the main ones that different people do their thing on. Obviously, Facebook being a big one,
Yes.
especially for digital marketing and online marketing and coaching and all of that, because you have a much more round audience.
Dogs.
Yeah.
You wanted, especially if Facebook doing the performance bonuses and stuff now, that it's turned into a kind of lucrative dashboard to make money in multiple ways, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got your next one, which would be Instagram, which is obviously linked, but very different. As much as they are both meta, they are very different ways to reach your audiences. And now you can
Yeah.
cross post easily enough on both of them. But Instagram, how you gain your traffic and how you reach your traffic is a lot different. You still do the DMs. You're gonna have to let them say hi.
I
There's
know.
no escaping it, mom.
Keep hitting that door too.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're gonna do a lot more of. It's all about information and providing value and entertainment through Instagram. And then yes, you can reach people in the DMs the same as you can in Facebook. But those conversations are not going to be you're jumping into everybody's DMs unless
Yeah.
it's super warm, right? You're not. I mean, you can cold, but honestly, it's not
Well, and
going
I
to
think
work.
Instagram just got a little bit more user friendly as well because the latest update showed that Reels are not where the engagement's coming from. It's kind of going back to its original platform idea, which was like your picture posts, your carousels are getting more views, and then stories as long as they're done properly. So one of the problems they're seeing is like people sharing 5, 10, 12 stories a day. And what happens is like your first one gets okay, and then like each one, kind of halves as far as people actually watching it or engaging or anything like that. So I think the shift from strictly like reels is everything to like, oh no, pictures are back is going to help a lot of newer creators.
I think so too, because I mean, as much as reels are super important and they're ways to get your information across, it's a way to grab attention and everything else. It's not the only way. And I think with obviously TikTok taking off when it first came out and really dominating, really made everybody want to go, oh, I want to be like them, right?
Yeah.
But there's a reason that Facebook is the way that it is with its groups and those kinds of things that really help a lot of businesses and people for trying to find things. Or the Instagram was really picture heavy. There was a reason why that was like that with the carousels and everything else. It's just there was it reached different audiences and everybody was trying to nail the same audience, and it's like I don't necessarily think that that's the most appropriate way to go about. um,
Yeah.
Other platforms would be like Pinterest, which has been and always will be fantastic for fashion and food and gadgets
And
and art.
gardening.
Yes. So it's a great way to utilize that. Every program, every platform usually has a how to use us,
Yeah.
right? And how to get the best out of it. And if you set up a business account, if you're looking to utilize it as a business account, they have even more information. Pinterest has more information, more ways to pay attention to your demographics and your analytics and all of that. Same with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. LinkedIn is one that a lot of people don't really think about. But LinkedIn is great if your business is focused on more the services and more B2B. So, like if you're more business related, so if you're doing business to business, software as a service, social media marketing management, VAs, those kinds of things, or if you're an affiliate for, say, travel or even a headhunters, because that is an affiliation business as well. Real
Yeah.
estate, again, coaches, another one. It's also a
Yep.
great place to repurpose your blog content.
Oh yeah. Or
Mhm.
gain traction to your YouTube, right? Like you can post your YouTube videos there. You can post your YouTube channel and your profile. The only thing with LinkedIn, I would say, is if you are still actively using LinkedIn as a way to find like jobs, like you're using it as a job search site, be careful advertising that you're also an entrepreneur. Not all
Yeah,
businesses
yeah, yeah.
appreciate that.
That is true. I mean, it doesn't hurt to show your experience, though. I mean, if that's, if
Right.
you're still looking for work, you can list your business in your profile to show and then list all the experience and the skills that you have for that. But yeah, if you're using it to build your, if you're still using it to find a job, I wouldn't utilize it as your advertising or information towards your business so much,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like you
Don't talk
say,
about
not all
firing your
companies are
boss.
going to like that. Yeah, because they might not like that. But there are
Yeah.
ways that you can create content, about various business things and how entrepreneurship is a good process. Again, that would be more in like blog contents or post contents, without slamming necessarily the system, even though, maybe just a little bit. But that's why it's probably better for more business to business, or, that kind of thing, or coaching. So,
Yeah.
how are your blogs doing? Because that's another way, that's another platform, right?
It is another platform. So I have gotten very lazy with blogs. I've not blogged for a while. But I did pick up a few more followers from the last two blog posts I did do. So it is on my content planner to get back to doing more regular blogs at least once a week, right? So there for a while, I was really good doing 3 a week. And it would be like one dog related, one affiliate marketing related, and one just lifestyle related. So I'd like to get back to that eventually. Although I'll probably switch it up and do one dog content related, one ice wellness related, and then one affiliate marketing related. Um, Interspersing lifestyle ones here and there probably. But so I got to get back to it. I got to get better at keeping myself accountable. But again, last month I made like $2 and I only posted two blogs. But it's because the older content's getting read. So that's the really cool thing about the blogs.
That is one of the things that I really like about the blogs too. I have not also been, but I mean, this month has been a bit harried.
Yeah.
But I just got my stats and I'm still drawing, because one of my blogs has somehow managed to rank somewhere on Google. So I get a lot of traffic for that. And that's, it's not
Wonderful.
massive traffic, but it's there and it's constant and it's consistent. And from there, I find that people go follow the series a little bit. And so
Yeah.
again, that's just another way. And then I can take that and put that in other places, which I have done. And if it continues to do well, maybe I break it up and I make a video of it. There's
Yeah.
another option. So,
Yeah.
and if you're more into the written posts, Twitter still, X or whatever, it's still active. Threads is another one. They have very different feels, but I still see business being done on both. They're more of a way to capture quick interest, right? You're not going to have really long posts on there. So that's much more hook related, but it's a good way to drive traffic to your other things, right? Especially if you have landing pages or blogs or things like that, or a YouTube channel. It's a good way to put a little bit of information, get them curious, and then shuffle them off to somewhere else. So that's
Yeah,
an
and I
excellent way
noticed
to do
now
that.
that when you post to Facebook, at least mobilely, it can auto post to Instagram, but it can now also auto post to Threads if it's in the right format.
Cool. And yeah,
So
and
that
you
was interesting.
can post videos to Threads. I know that. The short ones, right? More story length. that's all good. So what do we got? Threads, Twitter, blogs. Now blogs can be on your own website, or you can use something like Medium to set up a blog where you don't have to host it. It's there, and it's free. I believe there are some other blog places where you can do the same. I mean, there's obviously a lot of journaling sites that you can use as well, but I don't know that they'd be as effective. Then so yeah, Twitter, Threads, blogs. So that's your writtens. Then your Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. That's like 7 different, YouTube, 8 different places that you can really push your stuff out there. So via social media, and you don't have to pay for any of those if you don't want to. So, 8 free different ways to get your message out there, to promote your information, and make sure that, people know who you are so that you can build that know, like, and trust that we all need in any kind of business.
Yeah. Twitch is another good one if you're a streamer, gamer type thing. You can do affiliate marketing with gaming pretty easily as well. Usually it's product placement type stuff. So, like Ghost, when they first came out, reached out to a lot of gamers and fitness influencers and were like, hey, you talk about our theme and, on your stream. But that's another way that you can kind of intersperse your affiliate marketing links and whatnot is, as you're streaming, like, hey, I'm drinking Bones and I'm an affiliate of Bones, which I am. That's another platform that you can utilize.
And I think that people need to realize that affiliate marketing is so vast. The various different things that you can promote. It's not just courses, and it's not just Amazon products, right? There's a whole litany of things that you can do within affiliate marketing and within your niche. Once you realize, once you figure that out, and if you don't know how, just go back and take a look. It's last week's episode. But, once you find your niche, then you can find the different ways. And it can be everything from digital products to physical products to education and so on and so forth. So, don't feel like you have to be pigeonholed into this or the next thing. Almost every interest has some form of affiliation available for you. You just have to find it.
And if they don't, you can always reach out to your favorite company and be like, hey, I've gone down this journey of influencer marketing or affiliate marketing, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes they just haven't thought of it yet, or they don't know how to do it, and then you can help them set it up. Like there's different ways you can do that. So, because it kind of happened with us with some of our dog content, we reached out to some of the companies and we were like, hey, is it cool if we do a review for your product? And then, they're like, yeah, send us the video when you're done. Like we want to, because they have a really small YouTube channel still. We did, and then we got like a lifetime 10% off, which isn't exactly an affiliate link, but it's still a reward for content. Yeah, it's still a reward for content that we were going to do anyway. So that was really cool.
Yeah. So again,
there's ways.
The opportunities are all there, right? And so if you're more business focused, if your business is more business focused, think about that in terms of what kind of opportunities could you get to lower your costs by promoting or affiliating or sharing just what you use already and what you like already. These are all part of your business, and social media is what makes that happen for you. So next idea is some content ideas for social media marketing.
You are a pro at this.
Lies. So the first thing on our list here is behind the scenes glimpses, showcasing a little bit about your workspace or whatever to make you more personable. This is a way. Yes, well, that's definitely us, right? Sense of humor, show it. If you are super empathetic, show it. If you live the crunchy lifestyle, show it, right? If you're all about your chickens, cool, show it, right? These are behind the scenes. These are things that you do on your daily basis that help you build your business or that your business helps you do. Either way. For Rose, obviously, it's the puppers.
Yes, no secret, I have dogs. They were very happy when I got home.
No doubt. The next one, this is something you just touched on, and that is the user-generated content.
Yes, user-generated content is so, so, so fun. One, because there's different platforms out there where you can actually apply to offers type thing. And yes, you probably have to buy the product, but then they send it to you, you do the review, you talk about it, you get your money back, and then there's potentially an affiliate link involved as well. Or like Bones. I love Bones Coffee. Their adverts themselves are so creative and so fantastic. They don't need any help. But I'll do an unboxing video every now and then of getting my bones, or I'll do like a video of making a specialty bones coffee. And I've actually been featured on their Instagram before because of it, which was a really cool message to get. Same thing with Buff Bunny, right? I'm not a fitness influencer, but I bought those leggings to support a fitness influencer that I follow and like. And they reached out and were like, "Hey, can we use this picture?" And I was like, "Go for it." It's a really cool feeling. It's a lot of fun when you're promoting somebody else because you just talk about the product, right? You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about like, well, what do I come up with? Just talk about why you like the product, and it's great.
Yeah. And that's works really well on like, well, obviously TikTok is huge for that.
Yeah.
But it works well for like if you're an Amazon person or Shein has its own thing. Now you may not like these companies, and that's fine. There's plenty of other ones out there who you can do that influencer marketing for. And like you say, there's places now where you can literally go and they can link you up. You can take a look and see who they are, and you can apply. Um, Gonna suggest that you probably try to get your following at least up to about 1,000 because micro influencers are now a thing. You don't have to have the millions of viewers. It just depends on who you're trying to reach. They're okay with micro influencers, and people tend to trust some of the micro influencers a bit more depending on what the products are. So,
Yeah. A
um,
lot of these companies are startups and don't have the big budget to reach out to I don't know who big influencers are at this point,
yeah,
Mr. Beast type people. So like they're enjoying being able to reach out to the smaller people and being like, hey, can you do this for us? Like
yeah, because if
it's a
they've
lot of
got
fun.
10 Yeah, if they've got 10 or 15 micro influencers, then their reach is expanded, and those
Mhm.
people are also expanding their own business sense. So it's
Absolutely.
a really symbiotic in a positive way.
Yes.
Polls and surveys.
Yes. And quizzes.
There you go. How's your quiz going, by the way? Still
It's
kicking
good.
ass?
I've had about 200 people take it. And
Nice.
my open rate for my email list after that is up to 8%. So not great, but not terrible.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So good job.
So
So
super
yeah, like
excited.
these are ways to engage people, right? You got your polls, your quizzes, your surveys, all of those things is a way to engage your audience on social media. And it's also a way to take that information and utilize it to tailor your message and tailor your products. If you're out there trying to create your own thing, it's a good way to tailor that by asking the questions and putting the polls out there. And, they don't always have to be super business related either. They can be just helpful, right?
Yeah.
Like, or they can be fun, coffee
Yeah.
before you open your eyes or after.
That
So,
was one of the
these
things
are,
we did with real estate was we would take a bunch of headshots. We'd already kind of know what one we wanted to use, but we post them on Facebook anyway and be like, hey, vote, what's your favorite? Just to get that engagement up and just to remind people that yes, I'm a realtor.
yes. Yeah, and like so that's a great way to keep your audience engaged with you and your content, and again to really help you maybe just figure out where you need to pivot, or what you're doing great at, all those things, or even just to figure out what your next piece of content is going to be, or your next
Yeah.
set of videos is going to be about. How to
Yeah,
guides
it's
and tutorials. Whoops, sorry, you
oh
go ahead.
yeah, you're great at those.
Yeah, that's sort of my thing.
That's definitely your thing. You're way better at that than I am.
And for me, that's just simply because I like to help people, and I feel like being able to provide that value, that knowledge, to help people grow and feel like they've come away from a post or a video or something and gained something from it, is important to me because I just want people to succeed. So,
Yeah.
whatever their
Well,
goal
you also have the strength of like you can really clearly and effectively explain exactly what it is you're talking about. Whereas like that's something I struggle with where I'm like my brain knows what I'm trying to say, but my fingers or my words like I can't it doesn't translate. But you translate it beautifully.
You mean I over explain?
But I under explain. So to me, it's because I have it all the time, even in day to day life, where I'm like, I know what I'm trying to say. Why don't you just know what I'm trying to say? And then I really have to sit there and figure out, like, okay, how do I explain? Whereas Smith's like, oh, this needs explained. 20 minutes later, he gets to the point because he over explains as well. But like, he can do that and people walk away understanding. Whereas with me, they're just like, I don't come back when you've collected your brain. I don't know. But that's the beauty of blogging and long form posts and things like that is it makes me sit there and be like, okay, does this make sense?
I'm very much a step by step person when it comes to, even when I'm looking for information. If you give me a lot of fluff and not much in the middle, I get annoyed. It's like I came here for knowledge, not for your entertainment. That's why I go to recipes, jump to recipe. I
Oh my
don't
God,
care
I
about your
hate
story.
that new.
And I understand why they have it and it's important.
I
And
do too.
sometimes, every once in a while I'll get caught up in one, right? And I'll read this story. But yeah, no, I'm just like, tell me the details, man. It's like
Yeah.
YouTube. I do the same thing. If I'm looking at YouTube how-to video, I'm literally going to the chapters. It's like, where's the information I actually want?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, and I'm a nightmare person that comes in, but that's because I want the knowledge. I don't want the entertainment, but that doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to be entertained, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's why I laugh when people like get frustrated with, paid promotions and videos. And I'm like, one, they have to tell you they're doing it so you know it's coming. Two, if it's a creator that you actually really enjoy, then you're still supporting them. So just deal with it. And three, the creator who's been doing it for a while is gonna have the chapter there. Just skip through it. It's not a huge deal. Like, it's not gonna hurt their algorithm that much that you're skipping that chapter. But I don't understand the like, oh, I just don't want to watch this. It's like, okay, well, you got to understand that's part of making money on YouTube. So,
Well, yeah, and
you know,
there are people who will be frustrated with ads or when there's, a free course that's given out where they have given you a ton of information. It's a
mhm,
free masterclass of some sort. And they have literally, as long as they've dropped a ton of information for you, where they've really given you a step by step, where at the end of it, you've come out with some like a roadmap. It might not be the full details, but it's a really good start for you. And then on the last day, they give you options and they tell you, like, yeah, we've got these other things. We'd love for you to join us. If you go in knowing that that's there, don't be pissed off at the last day that it's there. Of
yeah,
course, they're going to have that. And don't get mad at them in the comments when they're promoting that course, saying, oh, yeah, but you're just going to try and sell me something in the end. Yes, I am. Because I'm giving you some great value for free because I want you to see what I have to offer. I want you to know that I really do know what I'm talking about because why else would you want to join me or my program if I don't give you that information? I'm allowing you to try before you buy, is what I'm doing.
yeah,
You take a
yeah,
car for a test drive, they're going to sell you a car,
yeah,
right? So,
yeah. I don't understand the like disconnect between marketing tactics in the digital world and marketing tactics in the real world. Like, you go to Costco and you get a free sample of something. Like, yeah, and there's gonna be signs for it all over the place because they're trying to sell it. Like, it's the same thing. It's
yeah,
the
you go to
exact
a
same
makeup
thing.
store and they have, their little makeup things that you can test, like testers, but you also go to and they will do like a complimentary makeover kind of thing for you and stuff.
Right.
It's not out of the goodness out of their heart. They're wanting to show you what their products are, how they work, how good they feel, all those kinds of things so that you spend money, right?
Hmm.
That's just, they're letting you try before you buy. That's all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just the way that is. Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
Trend jacking. Now, I don't use this term a lot, but it's basically, just being current. Right?
Yeah.
It's really just keeping your eye on the different trends that are out there, the trending topics that are out there. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to follow every trend, because not every trend is going to be for you. But, maybe your way of trend jacking is to buck the trend, is to talk against it, if it's something that really doesn't work for you. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple.
I've done
Now,
that with like trending sounds where it's like the
you've
same
done
video
that?
done
Yeah.
by everybody. So then I'll just do a video to the sound but not do anything. I'm like, this is me not doing the normal video to this.
I love it.
Because I like to go
You're
against
my
the crowd.
favorite sarcastic person. So the next with the section that we have is on strategies on increasing engagement, and you are very good at this.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to say yes.
Increasing engagement. So, my biggest problem is not engaging after the fact. I will say that, but obviously consistency is going to be key, right? And you and I both have kind of dropped off on this the last couple of weeks just because of everything going on in our life. But this is where scheduling tools really come in handy, or repurposing tools as well. Schedule them out. Go High Level has a great scheduler. Facebook and Instagram within their own platforms have a scheduler. YouTube scheduler is fantastic. I've got like the entire month of May as far as shorts are concerned scheduled out. Scheduling is definitely your friend.
Yeah, and there's also like Metricool, which will allow you to schedule out, especially if you have business accounts. And you can do like up to 70, I believe, per month for free. So
Nice.
that's super helpful. And it has some really great analytics as well. They obviously have a paid version, but their freemium version is pretty good. And I think Hootsuite also, I know Hootsuite's pretty good for all the socials, but I don't know about YouTube. So I can't really speak towards that. But they have their own thing. Again,
Yeah.
that's,
Well, yeah, YouTube's good, and then like you can always use, like as a repurpose to put them on your other platforms as well. I know some platforms do cap like how far in advance you can schedule, but I don't know if YouTube does, to be completely honest. I don't know that I've never out scheduled YouTube. Let me put it that way. I have out scheduled other things.
Yeah, even if
But
you can get
yeah,
a month up, that's good, right? Because as long as
exactly.
you don't wait until your month is up and go, oh crap, I forgot. I had everything scheduled. I thought I didn't have to work.
Exactly. And then the interaction. You're really good at this. You're really good at the polls and the questions and responding to comments. You're way better at that than I am.
I'm pretty good at responding to comments, because that I've grown to be better at, because it's easy to get caught in your own little world. You're tracking your own stuff, you're tracking your own page, everything is very myopic. And so it's easy to forget to go out there and engage on other things. Like the stupidest thing, I commented on a post that's totally fluff, and it was about an article about people cooking bacon in their air fryer and why it's maybe not such a great idea, right? Because it was really typical stuff, and I'm like, I just bake my bacon in the oven and
Yeah.
on foil, and it's easy cleanup. I can do like a whole package for the family, and it's done, and it's no big deal. I got like, I don't know. Last check, it was close to somewhere around 300 reactions to it, and a few dozen comments. People asking me how and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm absolutely going to respond to all of this. Now, granted, it's just a silly little thing, but at the same time, those are people who are now, possibly looking over and figuring out who I am, and appreciating the context and whatnot. It's a silly little thing, but it's a way to, I was getting tired of business this week. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm going to respond to this, but you never know who that's pulling in too, right? Getting that conversation going and reaching out to people. You're trying to provide value. And that, again,
Well,
so I provided value.
yeah. And again, that's your authenticity coming out, right? Like
Yeah.
part of what draws people to our businesses is not necessarily business. It's who we are as people.
Yeah.
So.
And then the secondary is like, oh, well, what are you doing there? And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. And that's, and that's the same for people who you maybe know all the time, right? We're so set on, a lot of people are very set on, I need a new account because I don't want my friends to know.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know that I'm doing this. And I get that feeling. I really do understand that feeling. But if you are being authentic to you and promoting something that you believe in and that you really want to work, maybe those people who are your friends and are or connected with you on Facebook previously are going to see it, and they're just going to ignore it for a while, and they'll be like, oh yeah, what's she doing, blah blah blah. And then they might get curious, and then they might start to follow a little bit more, and then they start asking questions and stuff like that. And it's not going to be every single person, right?
No.
But you might reach a couple of people who were like high school friends that you really haven't stayed in touch with, that all of a sudden reach out to you and go, so what is it that you're doing? And
It's
that's,
so funny that you say that because that legit happened to me last month.
it happens, right? It
Yeah.
happens because they're following you. They know you enough to like you, but they're maybe not super involved. But you've piqued a curiosity in them because they're going to be in a lot of the similar situations that you're in, or what caused you to start your business. Because they're of the same, a lot of times we grew up, people take different paths, but a lot of times we sort of are in the same pool, right? We might be just different ends of that pool, but we're sort of in the same pool. And so if they see you succeeding, they see you building something or growing something, then they might want to come into you and ask you questions, but they're not going to do it right off the gate, because our friends and family are going to be the very first ones to go, they're at it again, right? That's
Yep.
pyramid scheme. That's a network, that's marketing, blah, blah.
If they don't like it, they can unfollow you, or they can
They
unfriend
can
you, or
unfollow
they can
you.
snooze you. They can a lot of things they can do. It's on them.
Absolutely. I've actually unfollowed, like, I very rarely do, right? Like, I'm pretty open, easygoing. And unless you're really, really super offensive, I just like, yeah, whatever. But I've actually unfollowed 3 people this week
Nice.
because I was just like, no, I'm done seeing this crap on my page.
Yep. I've done
And
it.
some of them, yeah. And there's like a marketer who I didn't necessarily disagree with what she was marketing. I disagreed with, I had an issue with an ass in my face in the stories all the time because that was her first image. And then it would go on to something business. And I'm like, this is disgusting. And it's annoying more than, it's not
Yeah.
disgusting. It's just annoying. Like, I really could care. If you want to be OnlyFans and that's what you're promoting, then do that. But if your first image is some sort of OnlyFans image, and then after that, you're talking to me about business, I'm annoyed by that.
Yeah, it's
Right?
clickbait.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was like, I'm over it. Like, cause I looked, I'm like, is like, did she get hacked or whatever? But after like the third or fourth time, I'm like, no,
Yeah. Yeah, I've
I
got like
don't
three
want
or
to.
four triggers that I'm like, cool, unfollow.
Yeah.
And like my block game this year got way better too, because like before I was really like, oh, I don't want to block them, like I don't want them to feel bad, and now I'm just like, I've told you no twice, we done.
Yeah. That's fair. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your social media, folks. You're allowed to
Yep.
make sure that it's a safe and clean space for you and for your potential clients and the people who follow you and engage with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Following your train of thought of the visual content thing, yes, it is important that you have eye-catching content, right? And that's why you'll see people who post a long post on Facebook, and then at the bottom they're just like picture for attention, right? Like a picture post on Facebook is going to get a lot more traction than a non-picture post because of the format of the feed. So make sure that it's a scroll stopping image, as we would say. And that's for your thumbnails, that's for anything. But again, make sure it's still related to what you're talking about. Don't just throw some clickbaity, you know, cover on your shorts. That's not okay.
Try to tie it in. Yeah. I don't need your ass in my face.
Yep. And then collaboration we've talked about before. Instagram's a good one for collaborating because you can invite multi-collaborators now, which is really nice. I think you might be able to with Facebook as well. I'm not
I know
positive.
you can invite collaborators. I just don't know how many. And I mean, I think it's only for the video though.
Yeah, I think so too. But collabs are great. It's a way to reach other audiences. It doesn't necessarily have to be because within the digital marketing space, there's a lot of like, oh, well, like we can't help each other. We're, competition. And you're not. Like, you're absolutely not. But oftentimes you can collaborate with someone who's got a different niche than you, but maybe it overlaps with what you're doing. You don't have to be like, okay, well, I do digital marketing, you do digital marketing, so we have to collaborate together all the time because at some point you're just reaching the same audiences because your audiences are the exact same. So
Yeah.
collaborations with crossover niches are fantastic. It, like, again, it gets them in front of a new audience, it gets you in front of a new audience. Beautiful way to seamlessly and easily just get your face in front of more people.
That works really well too. If you've got somebody who's doing digital products, specifically, like say how to's or like informational type things, and then you've got somebody who's a product influencer or a product based marketing, and that way the two of them will work really, really well together. Like if you're a cooking person and you're doing the how to's and the recipe books and stuff like that, and then you've got somebody over here who's all about the products that you use within your cooking. That's again very good. And then you might find that you're going to delve into a little bit of that and they're going to delve into a little bit of that. And then you guys are expanding your businesses each. That's a great way to do that.
Yeah. Again, like, there's such a competitive, like, weird vibe within the affiliate marketing and digital marketing space. And it's,
Yeah,
yeah,
sales energy is there, but we are not in a car. We're not we're not in a car lot.
no,
You don't have to fight Joe for that sale on the lot because
yeah, exactly.
you know people are going to go for who they're comfortable with. And that's just the bottom line. you
Yep.
know they're going to go with who they're comfortable with, and so if they're comfortable with you, even if Jeanette down the street is selling the exact same thing with you as you are, if that person likes you more, they're going to go to you, right?
Hmm.
It doesn't matter that you're selling the same thing,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Maybe Jeanette, they get Jeanette better than they get you, and that's okay because there's going to be somebody else down the road. So you just have to work on your own game and make sure that you are providing and doing the best that you can and being as authentic as you can so that the people that you're reaching are there for you because they like you.
Yep.
So.
And then, of course, we talk about it all the time, analyze and adapt. Like, look at your data, figure out what the data is telling you, and adapt accordingly. I'm working on this hardcore with ad spend, right? Like, because again, I am not the live on Facebook, live on my phone person. Like, I started an online business so that I didn't have to be online all the time, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's possible. And so I've, really delved into ads because ads are a great passive way to get your information out there. And it's funny that we don't think of ads as a passive theme when it's really what they are, right? They can
Mhm.
be in your face, they can be over the top, but it's still a passive form of marketing because you're not recreating the same thing all over again. You're just sending it out into space. But if your ad is trash and you're not analyzing, and maybe you set something up wrong and your ad is only going to a tiny country in Africa, you're probably not going to make any sales.
Well, yeah. And I mean, the other thing about the analyzing and, adapting is you're going to find out if you make sure that you're tracking all of your platforms, especially if you have a scheduler that has
Yeah.
the tracking in it. It's a good way to track all of it at once, but each platform again has its own. It'll help you see if your marketing message is hitting in that platform, and
Mhm.
maybe no matter what you do and no matter how many tweaks you make, one platform is going to outperform all the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
for you because that's just, your own personality is going to come through there and that's where it's going to reach the people who hang out on that platform. But it's also going to allow you for each one to maybe tweak your message. So maybe you are gangbusters on Instagram, but your YouTube is not that great, right? So you're sort of putting the same messages out there. So maybe you just need to tweak one a little bit more, or maybe it's your Facebook one isn't taking off. And it's, again, maybe you have to change some of the information. Maybe you need to put more infographics. Maybe you need to have a few more long form posts, or maybe you need to have a more bigger variety. You don't know, right? But you will know if you follow your analytics. And
yeah, especially timing, it'll show you, like there's such a back and forth about does timing matter, and I get it. But understanding when your bulk audience is active can help, right? And of course, everyone's audience is different, and that's why the collective, like, this is the time to post, doesn't really work, because maybe you're reaching people 2 time zones over. Like for the dogs channel, a lot of our views come from New York, which is 2 to 3 hours ahead of us, depending on the year. And so for us, like scheduling it, 6 a.m. our time might not be optimal because that's 9 a.m. their time. So we'll schedule it for like 4 a.m. because that's 7 a.m. And it's, usually when it gets active. So understanding that is really, really key to, especially if you're using the performance bonuses and stuff and you need that engagement, definitely understanding when your audience is active is going to help.
Yeah. And Brian was in the UK. And so he had to always take a look at that when that worked best. And sometimes he'd have to, like, he'd have 2 posts, and he'd schedule one for his UK following and then one for his North American following, because they needed things at different times. And it's okay to make sure that you are paying attention to that. In fact, it's that, because timing does matter. Some things don't matter so much. Like if you're doing a blog, timing might not matter as much, because it's more evergreen. But if you've got stuff that's going to be scrolling through, because a lot of social medias do scroll through, you do need to look at when your audience is. And the best way to do that is where your audience is, right? If you know where your audience is, you know when. You have a much better idea of when is going to work for them if you know where they are.
Yeah. So. And that can be super eye-opening as well, because then you could also tailor it to like, okay, well, especially if you're like in digital marketing and you're selling courses to help people learn digital marketing and set themselves free, knowing what demographic you're like hitting can help you tailor your content. Because if you're hitting a bunch of people in India, find out what the economic crisis in India is right now and tailor your videos accordingly, right? Like, not saying all of them, but there's ways to really use the analytics to better your content for your audience.
And it's the same with age too, right? If your demographic, if you're finding that you're reaching people who are, say, over 40, when you reach them is also going to matter, because they're more likely to be home in the evenings than somebody who's in their early 20s.
Oh yeah.
Right? Again, that timing and the message that you're going to be trying to put out there and how you're going to put that message out there is going to be different depending on age, location, all of those things. So pay attention.
This is where the hard work comes in when it comes to digital marketing.
Yeah.
It's not all dancing for the camera.
And you thought that was the difficult part. So we haven't really thought about what we're going to talk about next week. So how about creating compelling content? Would everybody like to see that? I think everybody would like to see that.
That's a good one. Yeah. Today's my content creation day. So that's great.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Up. Me too. I am also of the I need to get my poop in a group. So
you know what? Sometimes you need to take a break and reset, and that's what we did. So
I think that is absolutely the situation over here. So next week we will talk about the content creation and ways to make that fire for you. And thanks so much for joining us today. And
yes, Julia, thank you for the heart.
Appreciate that. If you are catching this on replay, obviously, please drop a hashtag replay. It will be up on our YouTube channel, and this will be up on our YouTube channel next week.
Please do head over to that YouTube channel and start getting the views and subscribers up, because we have some amazing dark roast products we want to share with you guys, and we can't do it until we can get partial monetizations.
As always, if you have any questions or anything that you would like to expand upon, drop them in the comments. If you need some support, you can reach out to either Rose or I, because We all have our different skill sets, and we are both willing to help you. Next week, again, we will be discussing content creation. And until then, happy Friday.
Okay.